Our next guest is here,
Oh,
Dr.
Patti.
Patti Ashley. She is an incredible woman who is leading and specializing in individual and couple and family counseling and therapy. She has created a unique process called the authenticity architecture. So all of this has brought her into what we need immediately to really create a world that is better for our individual perception and our collective reality. So, Patty, thank you for being with us. And I am so excited to hear your knowledge and your golden nuggets that will heal and guide us to the next stage.
So
Thank you.
happy to see you, Patti. Thank you so much for your coming, Patti.
So happy to see you too, Michelle. I loved your birthday meditation. I was just taken in the love. And yeah, so thank you so much for having me. What an honor. I mean, when I first heard about the Never Alone movie and movement, it took me a minute, but I was stunned because I remembered a meditation I did when I was working on some unresolved grief from having lost my father at the age of 11. And I was in a workshop with John Bradshaw, and I was about 30 something. And I met my father in the meditation, and his message was, "You are never, ever alone."
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
so it was a beautiful seconds. Bye-bye.
So I was stunned because as a psychotherapist, you can imagine what work is like for me now. I want to rewind though back to what it was like before, and when I heard about the movement, and I was so excited because I was dealing with families and a lot of kiddos, like high school and college kids, who have this existential depression. The question is, what's the point? Why are we here? And then the hurry and the rush and the pressure and the perfectionism, everybody was exhausted. And then I was also having kiddos come and talk about having to go to school and participate in shooter drills. So they're learning where to go if there's a school shooting. And, my kids are so smart, and they're saying, but that's ridiculous because the shooter was one of the students and they know the drill. So what, there was these bigger questions that were happening, and a sense of exhaustion. And of course, it's so wonderful to hear all the amazing people tonight, and Marianne Williamson and everybody. But, Marianne, I followed her forever. And everything she said just really hits me right here, as many of the other speakers tonight. But so then COVID happens and our lives get turned upside down. And here we are now in this really surreal experience. And so I've been fortunate to be able to continue my work online with my clients. And what I'm experiencing with them is almost like a PTSD response. And so what we learn from post-traumatic stress disorder is that trauma in the body memory has no time. And so when we, have something that happens that triggers a memory, then we feel like we're in the trauma. And so we're also in a collective grief. And Joan Borensenko is a dear, dear heart. And, and she's talking about grief and moving through grief. Of course, that's been a big piece of my work, right? Losing my dad at 11. And also, as Chopra was saying, very similar, my existential search, because I was Catholic and was told my dad was in heaven and I should be happy. And I was 11 years old, went back to 6th grade and didn't talk about it with anyone. Mm-hmm. And so in high school, I knew that this is the work I wanted to do. I always say I always wanted to give people a place to talk about things that are hard to talk about, because I kept thinking something really hard has happened and nobody wants to talk to me about it. So I'm really blessed to be able to do this work and witness people right now going through grief, going through PTSD. And my work has evolved into really looking at core shame, which is similar to trauma in the neurobiology. And so I just finished my 3rd book, which hopefully will be out soon, for therapists on working with shame in psychotherapy. And it, when we talk about this not enoughness, this pandemic of not enoughness, which several of our speakers have said tonight, and we look at the neurobiology of that. I go back to my child development research and my work. I was a special education teacher and a parent educator, and I have a background in child development. And what I know about the old parenting belief systems of spare the rod, spoil the child, do as I say, don't be angry, don't be this, don't be that. We didn't learn until the mid 20th century that wasn't really the best thing to raise a really healthy human being. So we're relearning that. In my work with moms, my doctoral research was on women not feeling good enough as mothers, really uncovered this neurobiology of not enoughness. And so the brain research now is showing that we can't do it from the neck up, because the moms would read all these books. They know we're supposed to do it different, but they kept saying behind closed doors, I can't get it right. I can't get it right. What's wrong with me? Nobody else has this problem. So now we're in this response. So the PTSD it triggers these not enoughness, which we also in our field now are calling a core shame experience, and we need to heal that. So how do we heal that? We can't do it by thinking about I'm enough. I don't think there's been one person walking in my office that could ever say I am enough. And then the problem is it takes years and years and years of repetition to get the body memory to change it on a cellular level. So what I've been doing now, one of the tools I've been using with my clients is I came up with what I'm calling the PPEEs. We're talking about our personal protective equipment. So I came up with your personal protective emotional equipment. And so to help my clients remember that. So the first one is practice presence. So all the meditation that we've done tonight, and Michelle and Gabriella, the meditation that you bring. And I can't wait for your app to come out. I'm just so excited about your app, meditation app for kids. So mindfulness, even if it's just a minute of just kind of getting present in your body. And I talk about the Fantastic Five to my clients to help them remember that, what happens, because the body memory has no time. If we are in this PTSD response or grief response, we got to come back to present moment and find 5 things that are comfortable and safe. Maybe it's your cat, your soup, the flowers in the yard, a warm blanket, your plants, whatever. Find 5 things, and you have to, because we want to get a sensory memory of safety into the neurobiology. Second one is play, because we found that play, when we're playing, we can't be in fear. And so playing curiosity, you see in little kids, it's so natural. And yet as adults, we kind of lose it. We kind of think we're too busy. We're all just too busy, right? But now in this pandemic, when we're still busy, and busy in a different way with homeschooling and working at home and all the challenges that are going on for the people who are unfortunately first responders and, firsthand, in it, we don't want to play because we think we're too busy. But if you can take a moment to play and laugh, it actually calms the nervous system and tells the body it's safe. And we want to get that present moment body safety. So people like to do different things. Some people like creative arts, music, dance, anything that we can do that's playful and fun. This is a little thing that I use all the time. It's called my little nuff.
Oh, that's cute.
A friend of a friend drew this for me because, again, see the playfulness. When you look at it, you go, ah!
Yeah, I love.
When I work with them now on the computer, they say, "There's my nuff." They keep it.
I love that. That's very cute.
We will in a few minutes also with Gabriella, we will develop our new approach of meditation, the approach that we developed for the prisoners of Los Angeles. And thank you so much, Patti, for all you do since many years. It is so, so important. Thank you, Patti, to be with us. We love you, Patti.
I love that.
We love your adorable book. It's so cute. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you. It was an honor to be here.
Thank you.
It's an
so
honor
much.
to host you, Patti.